morning, peoples. Finally made it up to the deer lease. It is the first weekend of October, opening weekend of bow season. Actually, we're not bow hunting. We're up here this week to do our work weekend, we call it. And I kind of handicapped this year because I got older. So look what I drug along with me.
Had to bring me along.
Got old Bobby home.
For the muscle.
Yeah, I brought him along for his muscle, not his brain. That's for darn sure.
Hired from the neck down.
Hired from the neck down. But anyway, we're headed, just got through eating breakfast. We're passing by camp right now. There's camp gate. And we're passing it up because we got everything loaded up we need. We're headed out to the pasture, go get a little work done. But we're gonna be here this weekend. I'm gonna try to throw together some video, pop something up for you. Had a couple of subscribers that asked, when you going to the deer lease? So here it is. We finally made it, and it's beautiful weather. It was 55 this morning up here. It's cool. The air is dry. They've had some rains. It's actually greened up really well up here. Very pleased with that. Had a real dry, hard summer on up until about August rolled around. Then finally started getting some rain in. So anyway, the grass on the north end of the ranch is like beautiful, thick. I know we're gonna have to do some weed eating. We got some brush to drag around. So anyway, I'm gonna try to cover a little bit, see what happens, and keep old Bobby busy. Keep him working. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna see what happens this weekend. Look here, got my gate getter. Last year I was without a gate getter. I did all this by myself, and it was in and out the gates and all the physical labor, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to do what I wanted to do. We had that freeze, this is 2022, had that freeze in 21, and we had all those oak limbs laying on the ground, and they're laying around my feeders. That's a lot of what we're gonna do this morning. That's why I bribed Bobby to come with me. His name ain't Bobby, it's Blaze. But got him to come with me. Say, smile, Bobby. I told him, I said, I'll provide your meals and your beer for you if you'll come help me. So he's gonna help me drag tree limbs. Business this morning is we're clearing brush out these tree limbs. You can see the pile we made right there. That's all from that freeze in 21. We're just cleaning up around these feeders. We got Blaze going over here. He got Blaze going over there. He's going to work around that feeder while I start weed eating around this one, just knocking down this tall grass. And it's starting to warm up already. Hard on the old man. Don't take long for that lower back start hurting. So now I get ride that weed eater. I tell you what, that's a lot of weed eating. I got a little bit to go in between here and there yet, between here and the stand. That Blaze over there, we got some right-of-ways cleared out. I say right-of-ways, we got some right-of-ways weed-eated down from that stand. I mean that feeder there, back over to the stand. I'm using, again this year, the all-season feeder makes this feed sync timer. If you let me get over here in sunlight, you can get a good look at that. This is pretty much all there is to the unit. It's Wi-Fi controlled. Each unit has their own Wi-Fi signal, so you get a different number in your Wi-Fi from each different feeder. I really like them. One thing I did run into last year was when I first hooked them up, none of them would work. I couldn't get nothing to operate. I had to delete the app that controls it in my phone and then re-download the app, and after that everything worked perfect. You control everything from your stand. They have a range of 150 yards, I think. You set the times, you set your duration, you set everything from there, and it also remote controls each one individually. So it works perfect. I myself love it. My son-in-law hunting in the same pasture with me, he used them for half a season, got frustrated with them and quit. So pros and cons both ways. I like them, he didn't. He's back to using the on-time feeder controls. I'm sticking with the feed sync. So I'm gonna get these mounted, and we don't even have corn yet. We gotta go back to town and get corn, but I'm gonna get the feeders set up, mounted, and ready to go. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see if I can set this somewhere where you can see it better to see this picture on here. But this is the screen on the feed sink, and pretty much this is the schedule I'm on. This is here in the voltage that the battery has in it. It shows that the solar panel is charging and the feeder condition is good. Gives you a complete report on it. And then it has the red bar, which is the feeder test of the remote. And I'll walk up a little closer. Of course, I'm standing right at it, but just simple push of the button, and we have feed. So I'm setting these feeders. Kind of got a little bit, and I got good news. We this ranch runs a lot of goats, and this year they're adding some Dorper sheep, and they're going to slowly add more and more through the year. They're cutting back a little bit on the cattle herd and adding more sheep and goats, more drought tolerant, and I guess more lucrative for the property. That's up to them. But I talked to the ranch foreman, and he had told me that right now I have goats in this pasture, so I'm gonna cheat them because I'm pretty sure goats don't eat at night. So I'm setting these feeders for right now. This is the first weekend of October, to go off right after dark and right before daylight. So I'm sure the pigs and the deer are going to enjoy that. They'll beat the goats to them. You said if one that goes off after daylight, and all you do is feed goats. These goats are supposed to be out of this pasture in a week or 2 weeks. They're just moving through here to go north up to the big pastures up on the north end of the ranch, and that's where they winter at. So anyway, I'll come back in about 3 weeks and reset the timers and get them all scheduled. So for right now, I'm feeding like at 7 in the evening, no, 8 in the evening and 6:30 in the morning. So I'm catching them before and after the sunrise and sunset. I'm gonna cheat on them a little bit. I got to move on to the next one. I got Blaze out here somewhere. I done lost him. I hear the weed eater running. He's way back over there. He's real proud of himself. He's cleaning out my shooting lanes really good. Well, we've got to the point where we're ready to put corn in the feeder. That's a ton of corn. We'll put 12 in each, well, 12 and 12 and whatever the rest of a ton is. That's 24, 18 bags to go in that other one. So I'm gonna go sit back in the shade and watch him get this finished. Huh?
I guess. I thought you were gonna be my bagger, but
I am. I got my old ace hand up here having a problem. What's the problem?
it's hot.
What's hot?
Here, take it.
I don't feel nothing.
Grab onto it real quick.
No, I don't need to grab onto it.
Oh, this drum's hot too.
I actually got to do some work this time.
Yeah, this time.
Huh?
You can't just grab it and pull it. You gotta walk the string.
Well,
Whole pallet and bag.
that's it. 40 bags of corn. Now we gotta go take a rest. No, actually we gotta go do some shredding. Right, Bobby?
Yep.
How you like that Yatchet hat? Pretty cap.
I guess it's all right.
Y'all can see that my stand is not very far from this feeder. My excuse is I like for my kids to shoot them in the neck, so I put my feeders close.
I want y'all to pay attention how wonderful the grass is cut.
Bobby rode 3 tanks of gas on that weed eater.
My arms feel it. They're still shaky.
He said, say what?
My arms feel it. They're still shaky.
He gets a break later. I'll go to the stand later and show you a picture of the setup from the stand. It looks a lot better than from right here. We're headed, we in between projects right now. We're driving through, it's the same pasture that I hunt on. We're going, you see I got Blaze in front of me on a little tractor with shredder on it. We got to go do some shredding over at Frank's stand, my son-in-law. Thankful to Kurt for letting us borrow his tractor. He got everything shredded at his and had to leave, go back home for the day. He'll be back tonight. But anyway, we're coming up on Frank's area out here where he hunts. Beautiful place over here on this creek. Frank shot a really nice buck over here last year. I'll pop a picture of it up right here and show you. I can't remember exactly how many points it had, but it was he had saw this deer opening morning and had videoed it of all things, and he let it walk, and then he shot it later on in the season. Really nice buck. And I'm sure my grandbaby Paxton is down here somewhere in this creek, because that's pretty much where she goes all the time when she's here. So I'll go find her here in a minute too. She loves this pasture and she loves that creek. She's one of the most nature-loving kids that we have in the family. We'll get out of the way here so Blaze can shred. So anyway, I'll find Paxton. I'll show y'all some of the critters that she's done caught over here. A couple of things pretty nice or unique about this part of the pasture right here. You'll see, I don't know how much this camera's going to pick it up on top of that hill up there, and the highway is right behind there, up on top of that ridge. There's an observation tower up there. If you look back at one of my previous videos, I think it was the one from snow a couple years ago, you'll see Frank up on that observation tower making a snow angel on one of the decks. It's actually 3 stories tall. Pretty nice thing. I think it was originally built as a tower. A gentleman was going to put a telescope on there. He was into astronomy, and it didn't work because it was what little bit of movement there is on it was enough to affect it. So, and then we'll see here. You see here where we're talking about all the tall grass that needs to be shredded, and why we got to do this shredding out here. Them deer walk right through that grass, you wouldn't even be able to see them. There's Mel and Frank on the other side over there filling the feeder. Caught up with Paxton finally. We're gonna run down to the creek. She was down here this morning adventuring. Pete, tell me what you found.
I found a water snake.
A water snake. Where'd you find a water snake at?
I'm looking for it.
Huh?
I'm looking for where I found it. I think I found it way over here.
So you found a water snake? I'll show you a picture of this water snake right here. Ooh, look at all the little frogs. Did you catch any of them frogs?
Yeah. No.
No?
I almost did though.
Almost did?
But I got stuck in the grass.
You got to dive for them. Is this where the water snake was at?
No.
No? So you caught a water snake?
Yeah.
And what else?
Like 4 minnows, 1 tadpole, and
That frog about jumped in your boot, girl. You catch him?
no.
Okay, a water snake and a tadpole. Them little frogs are fast. I don't know if you're gonna catch one or not. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah,
You catch a crawfish?
huh?
Did you catch a crawfish?
No. Yes.
Caught 1 crawfish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Little minnows.
How many, show me your minnows up here.
I got 3 now.
Oh gosh, those are little bitty.
I'm trying to get bigger ones, but they keep going too fast. Got him.
Well, you got a bunch of them that time. Put them out in the sunlight so I can see them better. You got a bunch of them that time.
Which one should I hold? Any of y'all?
She's very adventurous when it comes to all this.
Get out.
She caught that water snake all by herself. It actually whipped around and bit her on the finger. She she knows the difference. She's very educated. She watches a lot of animal stuff on YouTube and the internet and stuff, and she's very educated, very intelligent young lady.
This is where I found the snake.
This is where you found the snake?
Yeah, right here. Now it's venom.
And she definitely knows the difference in a poisonous snake or a venomous snake and a non-venomous snake, and so she had no fear.
Big tadpole.
You got a tadpole? Well, you got a big old tadpole.
He's gigantic.
Yeah. What tadpoles turn into?
Frogs.
Frogs. And so when she saw the snake, knew it was a water snake and knew it was non-venomous. And I was talking to Mel. Mel said she pretty much had no fear. She took straight off for it and caught it and turned around and it bit her and didn't bite her didn't bother her one bit.
Whoa!
What is it?
There's a big bush.
Several years ago, the property owner brought me out here and she showed me this.
It's not right there. It's this one over here. That is one of them, though.
There's a spring, a natural spring coming out of the creek here, out of the creek wall. Okay, just a second, Pete. And this has been, as long as I've been on this ranch, which I've been hunting up here going on 34, 35 years now. And as long as I've been on this pasture and seen this spot, even through the drought of 2011, that spring there has never run dry. It's always had water coming out of it. Paxton said there's another one. Oh shoot, there's another one right over here.
There's mint, too.
It has, yeah, it has this, that's not mint. That's fern. This one's mint right here. It has this mint plant growing out of it, this wild mint. But we actually,
Can I lick it?
yeah, I've actually, the landowner, the property owner was here with me one day and she was like, you got to taste the water. So I cleared out a spot and tasted the water, more to appease her, but I was actually quite surprised and impressed at the coolness and the flavor of the water coming out of this creek. Actually, Paxton, Mel had a picture of Paxton there drinking the water straight out of that spring. You good, Pete?
I didn't try it because I forgot. I have dirty hands.
You got dirty hands. Wash your hands, Iggy. You ain't got nothing. All you have is on them is tadpole and menace.
And like that sludgy stuff.
Oh, and that sludgy stuff.
This is clean enough.
Then you're gonna get them clean and then get you a drink. You gonna stick your hand up in there, a snake won't bite you.
No, it's just water.
It's just water in there, huh? Good? I'm one of those that thinks it's important to teach your kids this kind of stuff and to expose them and bring them into the elements of nature like this. I know that sounds kind of nerdy, but I've always been a advocate for bringing the children, the kids, out into the naturalness of the world and getting them out of the city and off their phones and off the game boxes and exposing them to this, and it brings me great joy. What are you doing, Mel? Playing with corn.
Test her out and see if we did it right. I like the last one when I did it. It was a bad battery, so it was good.
It works.
We ready.
I don't know how well this camera's gonna pick it up. You see, me and Mel taking a break here. But way down that creek, I wish this thing had a zoom on it. Here comes Paxton. I don't know what kind of adventure she's on, but she was looking for something. All by her lonesome.
She has a little container of that spring water, I think.
She has these little cups with lids on them, and she's been filling them up with that spring water, taking them to people to drink. She disappeared now. I guess she's coming up the bank somewhere. I forgot to tape us cutting firewood, but for the last couple hours, that's what we've been doing, cutting our wood for the year. We got one trailer in camp already unloading. Got 2 more trailers coming in. This is the most dreaded part of work weekend, is getting all this firewood cut and unloaded. Oh, they about got that trailer unloaded already. Howdy peoples. Again, Blaze just reminded me that I've been forgetting to do some videoing. I missed the firewood project quite a bit. I have a feeder pen here. I had an alfalfa hay rack. It looks like it blowed over. I was hoping it was still intact and gonna work, but it doesn't look like it. We're gonna tear this feeder pen down, and eventually it's gonna get moved and set up over at my other stand location. I used to hunt this spot here 4 seasons ago, 5 seasons ago maybe now. I moved out of here. So me and Bobby gonna tear this pen down, hopefully. I forgot my my T-post puller upper. Yeah, my hay rack ain't gonna work no more. Crud. So I won't have a hay rack. We got laboring to do. Get after it, Bobby.
You gonna cut them wires? Or
Yeah, they'll go cut them all. Toolbox on the back seat over here. We helping out Mike now, trying to help him get his feeders up. He got here a little late yesterday. Mike, I don't know if you can see him through the sun. Let me see if I can block that sun off of it. No, Mike's over there putting his stand together. But what I want to show you is this: how many people it takes to put a feeder together. There's 3 there. Myself. There's 1 there. And them 2 over, yeah. Mel, let me see if I can get down here below the sun. Mel's supervising. And these 2 over here, that's a company men. Y'all wave. That's a company man over there. They keep it that tailgate held down. So, anyway, we're gonna get these things set up. We're on number 2 of 5. I don't think we're gonna finish before dark. Right, LT?
That's right.
You camera shy. We're gonna go to the confessional here. LT.
Oh, that's too much.
Bro.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what happened there.
What had happened was, where'd that other screw go?
I didn't hear you, bro.
Well, you give me the wrong tip.
I gave you the wrong bit. What you looking for?
That other screw.
So, LT don't want to tell his story.
Maybe the right tool for the job.
The right side needs to come up.
Beautiful.
Good pressure, Gary, if you're on TV.
No wonder.
LT, it kind of worked right that time.
Did good.
Did good.
Teamwork.
Finally got it. Now we need a battery.
We're gooder.
Steffick's still supervising. You got a heck of a crew there, Steffick. Morning, people. It's Sunday morning, and I'm about to head home. I didn't get everything videoed that I wanted to this weekend. Very simply because I forgot to grab the camera a lot. Left it sitting in the truck, didn't have it with me. But we pretty much got everything accomplished up here. We're ready to go. Got everything set up for the season. Got camp set up. I got all my feeders set up almost. So I'm going right now back to my stand. And I'm going to get one more feeder going. It's a 55-gallon tripod feeder that I got from my nephew, from Grant. And I'm going to change out the remote in it and put a feed sync timer on it. Hopefully, if it'll work. And then I'll have all 4 of my feeders on feed sync. And check everything around there, pull my SD cards, change them out, see if anything's been coming. It's only been 2 nights. Everything, if I do get some pictures, I'm gonna pop them up on here. They're gonna be all nighttime pictures, because we got goats in the pasture still, so goats don't eat at nighttime. They go to sleep like they're supposed to. And so we set the feeders to go off after dark and before sunrise. And I haven't seen any signs of pigs in the pasture this year, which is kind of disheartening. I know it's good for the landowner, but I kind of like to have the pigs around, so because I like to shoot them. glasses on. Well, made it to the first feeder. There's a lot of goat tracks on the ground where they've been eating it, but there's still corn on the ground, which means that the goats hadn't been here this morning, and that probably not too many deer found it, I guess. That's not a real good sign yet, but if you can look through here, this is behind this feeder, and if you notice in some of the other earlier video, we had to do a lot of weed eating this year. They have got some very beneficial rains in August up here, and the grass is like really tall. A lot of green, especially up here on the north end of the ranch. So hopefully, I know I'm gonna have a whole lot of pictures of goats on my camera for now, but I'm gonna pull my cards out of here, and hopefully we'll have some nighttime pictures, at least of a few deer. Ain't too many found it yet. I think I'm done. This is I don't know how much is. There's my stand, and the highway is back that way behind that fence. A lot of people say, why you got a fence up around there? It doesn't really help me to get in without spooking the deer, because I walk in from that direction that way, and I have a feeder there, I have a feeder down there, there's the third feeder, and I'll walk over this way, and there's the fourth feeder. So it makes it kind of hard. It is hard. It's almost impossible to get in the stand without spooking deer off. But if I need to get out, like to have a restroom break, I can step out the back of the stand and duck behind that, and it doesn't spook them as much. In my previous stand setup, I had a whole lot better approach to it, and I could actually sneak it with that fence up. I could sneak and get out of the sun. I could actually get into the stand without spooking the deer off. So this is going to be my setup for this year. A lot of grass. Got a lot of it weed eated thanks to old Bobby. But I'm gonna pull my cards, show you a few pictures if I have any. I got the cards in my pocket, and we'll call it a wrap on this year's work weekend at the deer lease. Sorry I didn't get more video. Those of you that have been asking when you gonna put another deer lease video up, hopefully I'll video a little bit more during season this year. I use GoPros, and I have an old iPhone 8 that I use for a phone, so it doesn't take the best quality video either. It's good, but not great as far as the zoom. And these GoPros don't zoom. Maybe one day when I get rich, when I get enough subscribers and get monetized and can afford it, that's a hint to y'all that ain't hit that subscribe button yet. I'll buy me a better camera and a good digital recording camera, and with a really good zoom on it, and I can get a lot more better deer pictures. So anyway, y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Keep up with us. It's going to be an adventure. Like I said, I'm retired now, and hopefully going to spend a little more time out and about and in the woods and on the water, and see what happens with life. So y'all take care. Get outside. Take your kids with you when you go, and teach them nature and teach them to love it, and show them what our God has blessed us with and the opportunities that we have to be there. So y'all take care. God bless you. He loves you. Have a good one.